Ellie's Eden, part of Azure Standard, was created to make gardening more meaningful for families. In the Azure family, gardening is more than a hobby. It's how kids learn where food comes from, how families slow down together, and how we care for the land. Ellie's Eden offers carefully selected plant starts, seeds, and garden essentials chosen to help you grow with confidence. Whether you're expanding backyard beds or planting your first patio garden, Ellie's Eden helps you grow something lasting. Explore Ellie's Eden at azurestandard.com.
Hey there, this is Dennis Anyone with Dennis Hensley. It's a podcast about making things up and making things happen. I love talking to creative people, especially people who have a vision for something and they manage to make it happen. And that is certainly the case with today's guest. He is the writer and director of the movie Blue Film, which is recently came to theaters and will be out digitally soon. And it is about a fetish camboy named Aaron Eagle, who is played by Kieran Moore, who is on the show Boots. And he visits a client in exchange for $50,000, but he discovers that the client, played by Reed Birney, is somebody that he knows from his past. And it's a two-hander between these two men from different generations. It's very provocative. It's very bold. The acting is sensational. And it gave me a lot to think about, and I was really excited to talk to Elliot, especially since he used to work at Vidiot's, my favorite revival house in LA, but then he moved to New York. But anyway, we get into it. Before I get to the interview, though, I want to remind you that this podcast is brought to you by me. So if you like it, you can support it by leaving a tip in my virtual tip jar at DennisAnyone.net. You can also subscribe to my Substack and Patreon, which I try to do twice a month, but it's slowed down a bit because I've got this full-time job, but it's free. And you can look up Dennis Hensley's Happy and Gay on there. And if you are a paid subscriber, I really appreciate it. It does help me, but if you want to downgrade to free while I'm so busy with this work and not giving you guys as many eps, you can do that, and I will not be hurt at all. What else can you do? The Mismatch Game's coming to the Gay and Lesbian Center on June 26th. It's our Queer and Present Danger edition, James Bond themed. We've got Jackie Beat, we've got Lori Tatui, and we've got Frank DeCaro. We've got a new player named Jane Wilson. We've got Felix Pyre, and I'm forgetting somebody, Tom Lank. So it's going to be good. That's who it is. Also, my play is at the Fringe Festival in LA. We had our first show yesterday, and we've got one on the 14th and one on the 21st. Go to hollywoodfringe.org and look for The Point of Pine Cones. It's also on my Instagram and stuff like that. I think the 14th is sold out, and the 21st may be sold out. So anyway, having a wild time doing this play. I'll talk about it at the end. What else do I want to plug? Next year, I'm going to be on a boat with some friends from the Derek and Romaine show. There's this thing called the Live, Laugh. What is it? It's got 3 L's in it, and one of them is not lesbians. Anyway, it's a cruise, and it's from February 7th to the 14th out of LA to Mexico, and it's a big group of Derek and Romaine podcast people, and you can learn about that at dnrtravel.com. But I will be there doing probably dog and pony shows, hosting games, hanging out, maybe doing an episode, whatever. It'll be fun. I feel like there's more to plug, but I can't think of what it is, so I'm going to plug my mouth. Here now is my interview with Elliot Tuttle. Joining me now from New York City, it's the writer-director of Blue Film, Elliot Tuttle. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, thank you for having me.
I still have a little morning voice, if you can't tell. But I was up kind of late watching your movie. It's really sat with me. It's really powerful. It's really bold. And I really admired it. So and it's given me a lot to think about. First off, can you tell the listeners a little bit about it? Like if they knew nothing about it, what's Blue Film about?
Yeah, I usually pitch it as a cam boy takes a lot of money to spend the night with an anonymous client who has an unexpected tie to his past. But it's hard to kind of talk about the movie without, giving. But it's it turned out to be his middle school teacher who has since been disgraced for pedophilia. And the two go through a long night of the soul together.
Well, one of the things I admired about it, because I think culturally, when you think what's the worst thing anyone can do in terms of murder, and especially in the Trump era when crime and everything is everywhere, it's sort of like, oh, that's the worst. And I don't know if it's debatable. That's not important. But you chose to humanize and dive into this person. And you don't, and you don't, and he's frank about it. Everyone's frank. The film is frank about it. And I was watching it going, I've never seen a character like this. I've never seen a character. I've never gotten to know a character like this. Can you talk about why that was important to you to write about something that is societally so taboo and hot button?
When I think of the character of Hank, it a lot of elements of the film are very personal in regards to the Aaron character, who's played by Kieran Moore for me. And then with the Hank character, it was this very discursive kind of ruminating on sex from this. Like I wanted the film to feel like an echo chamber of perversion for these two people who believe they are kind of irrevocably broken.
Yeah.
And it felt the character of Hank kind of being a sex offender and a pedophile is, yes, very lightning rod subject matter. But I think I wrote it from a place of I was trying to, it wasn't even, the goal wasn't like, I hate when films talk about the goal of their film being like a social message or the goal to like destigmatize. Like that was never kind of my intention, was neither to stigmatize or destigmatize, humanize or not humanize, I think, but trying to write the character as honestly as possible. And I mean, like a film, like as long as a character is speaking and breathing and acting like a person, and you try to just as honestly as you could try to figure out how they would move around a space and speak to another person, like that by virtue of that is humanizing someone. Like, and so I think I've gotten this question a lot kind of through the press cycle of why make a character like you that you could empathize with. And I think that if you're treating every character like a real person, you kind of can't help but empathize with them. And so in that way, it wasn't explicitly like my goal was never to, the goal of the film was never to smash a stigma or be like I hope when we all walk into a theater, we assume that, you know, pedophilia is wrong and immoral. And now we can watch the film that, as I tried my hardest to do, would be two completely realized people from these fringe social margins.
Yeah.
Exploring their own loneliness through each other.
Yeah. And it comes across. And I think there are a lot of artists just like, don't even go near that. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's too whatever. But, is it your first, film as a writer director? Yeah. What a bold choice. And I think you have two amazing partners on this journey with these actors. Like if you didn't, it would be very, very hard to kind of pull off what you pulled off. Can you talk about how they came into the project? Being like, okay, let's explore what this script is.
They both, I think, jumped into it with the same kind of lack of abandon that I did. I think that we were all in the same, like it is, I feel like the best conditions to create something from, where I knew no one was needing their money back on this, like this movie. Yeah. I could create from a place of, if it's bad, no one has to see it, but we all just want it to be as good as possible. We were all just had such like a genuine desire to tell the story as best we could.
Yeah.
So I think everything else fades away when you're doing that. It honestly was probably not as much of a talking point throughout pre-pro and production as I think some people might think. Like I sent the script I wrote it very kind of unguarded. I sent it to Reed. He said yes very quickly, which helped us start making the movie very quickly. And Kieran, we were lucky enough to find through chemistry reads with actors and Reed. And so everyone kind of jumped into it with the same enthusiasm and inhibition.
Yeah.
So that again is like the perfect, like when you can create from a place of knowing that you have so much freedom. Like
Yeah.
I got to make every creative choice. No one was like I at the final cut, like I am. Everybody just works. That's like the best way to create.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to think about anything else when you're making it other than how do you tell the story the best way?
Yeah. And both of the characters are heartbreaking in their own way, and they go so deep. Kieran is in Boots, right? Which I watch. Who was he in Boots?
Yeah. He played.
I don't remember the character names, but he was one of the supporting.
He's an antagonist kind of
yes.
of the series.
But he breaks your heart. He goes so deep, and so does Hank, or the actor that plays Hank, Reed. Were there moments on set where you're like kind of knocked out by them?
Yeah, many. It was very, very fun to be sitting at a monitor watching these two people act opposite each other. A lot of times I would be outside of the room. Like I would go into the room if I felt like the performance wasn't getting to where I wanted it to go. And I felt like it would be helpful for them to do it for me. But
yeah, to be there.
So much of the day was like behind a monitor watching the two act opposite each other. And it was plenty of moments. I remember even just we filmed first the monologue, the very long Aaron Eagle monologue in the opening.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember being like, yeah, we have something. He had like a day and a half, 2 days to get through like 30 pages, I want to say, or something. And he had to have everything memorized. He was delivering it perfectly. And we were all like shocked. And then Reed, every time a camera is on him, he's doing something interesting. Like, it was always fun.
You worked with an intimacy coordinator, and I think that's interesting. I've written a play, and it's going up today at the Fringe, actually. And it's a staged reading, but it's very sexual and it's very intimate. And somebody told me that working with one actually made everything more exciting because people felt safe to play within the world. I don't know. Somebody was saying it's a good idea. Use one. What was your experience like working with that person? Because it's a relatively new thing in entertainment.
Yes and no. I mean, from what I understand, like that has been a fixture of kind of like the theater world for longer than it's been in the film world.
Right. That makes sense.
But it's, I mean, yeah, it's, I guess, a hot button issue. Like I'm kind of, I think the experience was necessary on this film. Like,
yeah.
There's so much that someone could be uncomfortable with that it was just very helpful to have someone whose sole job is facilitating that. But I feel like I see every perspective. Like,
yeah.
But I mean, it's like when you're on a film set, especially one as like small as ours was, and as like working with as little resources as we did, producers, me, like we're all doing a million things every second, it feels like. And so to have one person whose sole job is like facilitating those discussions was helpful to everybody, I think. Like it makes me as the filmmaker, it takes something off of my plate. It takes something off of my producer's plate. It takes something off my actor's plate. Like it was helpful in this situation. Yes, absolutely. I can't imagine with this film not having one.
yeah. No, I get it. The character of Hank, there are things about him that surprised me. He was disgraced, but he stayed in the town. I think that's interesting. And faith is a part of his life now. I think that's interesting. That the whole time I was watching it going, I've never seen this character before, anything close to it. And also how he comes to think about sex generally. And it's different than Aaron. At one point, Aaron says, "My sex means something to me. Like it's not a curse. It's meaningful." These are just thoughts that I had, but like these dimensions that you give them. And can you talk a little bit about what sex means to both of them, or the contrast of that, And
yeah, I
playing
mean,
that
I
out.
think that Hank has stayed in his hometown. Like, he feels this enormous weight of guilt, and like every day of his life is kind of self-flagellation in a way. Like,
Of course.
to them, I really was drawn to this difference in how Hank, he feels like his sex has been a curse and it's done nothing, but he feels like robbed his life of meaning, and then Aaron can kind of only find his meaning through sex. And to me, there's also felt something generational about it, about, I think, that love as like this faded thing to,
Yeah.
and then to maybe zillennial, like sex as this kind of like internet fed, like, pastime. It's like, to me, there's something interesting in, like, even just like the generational way that men think about sex, but probably to a greater extent besides queer men too. But
Yeah.
to me, that kind of informed like the dynamics of these characters. One of them has been entirely kind of built up by his sex, and it feels very significant to him.
Yes.
And the other has been tormented by it. And that felt like, okay, great. We're
Well, yeah, let's throw these two together.
Perspective. You're like, you're starting from somewhere different, and you can, and then there was something generational about it too, which I'm drawn to. Because I think also as gay men, we date across ages like pretty commonly, and you like see so many.
Right. What Aaron is living wasn't an option for Hank. There nothing close to it. You know what I mean? It just wasn't available. It wasn't, their internet wasn't there. Like, everything was more furtive, and like,
well, I mean, also, I don't know if Hank would have even necessarily been wanting to have to be drawn to that world. Be a part of it. But so even then, it's like even different in that way too. It's like hitting one kind of gay man against this sexual predator and pedophile, and that even that is like a dichotomy in how they experience love. Like, it is still like there's so many ways that they have to reconcile with each other, kind of.
Yeah, the movie just has so many levels and revelations and character shadings, and it's just so interesting. For example, with the character of Aaron, I think the audience would assume that if somebody's doing what he's doing, they must have had a tougher background or whatever. And you find out that that's not really the case. You know, like, he owns that. And I thought that was really interesting. There's something about this world and this alter ego, I guess, that he's created that is satisfying something in him. And I just thought that was a cool idea as well to explore. Can you talk a little bit about Aaron's background?
Yeah. I mean, I have thought many, many times, and I'm sure many of us think these things of like, why am I the way that I am? And so often and not, it's hard to reconcile like one's true nature with your nurture. Like, a lot of times they're like not compatible. Like, I was really fascinated by this idea that he could come from a very loving home, and he is still driven towards these more fringe, this like fringe sexual, in quotes, but deviancy. Like, I think it's a very universal experience that we can't completely understand what we're into in the bedroom, or it's so hard to even understand ourselves. It's like even more impossible to have someone else know us like fully and wholly. Like, I think that's something that Aaron is struggling with. He's like on this he's on this journey of figuring out how to explain himself to at least himself. And I think that's a big part of it, is that he can't reason with his own childhood in a way that Hank is able to.
And I think sometimes people think that we're so weird, we're so quirky, we're so weird, we're so dark or whatever. No one's ever going to. How are we ever going to match with somebody? How are we ever going to connect with somebody? You know what I mean? We're too like you said, we're too perverted, we're too broken in a way. These are themes that really speak to me. I think they're beautiful. You mentioned Vidiots in your credits, the Revival House in LA. I love that place. I've had 2 birthdays there. I'm obsessed with it. Can you talk about your connection to it and how it's connected to the movie?
Yeah, I mean, I worked at Vidiots for a very long time.
Oh, like, I was jealous. I would always read their listings and like see if they were hiring. I thought that would be the most fun place to work.
I'm sure that I was probably, I was a house manager over there for a few years, and I mean, I loved it. That place was one, I think, has like such a great mission of preserving physical media, and their programming is wonderful, but it is also just like the most wonderful group of people to work with. And they were very supportive of me taking a lot of time off when I made this film. They've been incredibly supportive the entire time. Like screenings there. We did our LA premiere there, which was so fun. Like that is a place. It's like hometown boy made good. Like, right? Didn't it feel like that?
Well,
it felt nice. I mean, I just love that place, and I love all those people there, and people that I've met through that job have become really like great friends of mine. And it's just it was just a wonderful place to be for years. It's great.
I'm sure that I've seen you there, and I'm sure you've did something anyway.
I'm sure you probably have.
Yeah, I go there a fair amount. Magic Mike XXL is my favorite Vidiots night to date, but there's always good ones.
No, that one's very fun. Yeah, we run out of the white wine pretty quick on those nights.
You run out of the white wine pretty quick on those nights. It's like I went there and it was just like, oh my god, because that's a favorite of mine, but I didn't realize that it was a favorite of so many people. I think there's something wonderful and subversive and sex affirming in that movie. Anyway, Mark Duplass is also listed in your credits, who I got to meet at Vidiots because he goes there a lot, and I was just able to tell him that he's always been an inspiration to me, like the way he just fucking makes his shit. And he gave this speech once. I don't know if it was at a screenwriting conference or somewhere that was online, but he was like, the theme of it was the cavalry's not coming. You have to do everything. And it really stuck with me. And I think about that sometimes when I'm trying to make something happen. I'm like, nope, the cavalry's not coming. You've got to do it. Can you talk about your connection with him?
Yeah, he's been a very, like a mentor figure to me for a while.
I think that's awesome.
He spoke at a film festival that I created when I was in high school. And
you created it and he came and spoke?
He spoke at it over Zoom. I mean, it was a single edition film festival, but it was
amazing.
It was a great experience. And then I interned with him in LA when I, moved out there for college, and then he's read many of my things, and we've been very close. And so, he's been a very important figure to me, and very supportive. And we talk all the time, and I really love that guy. He's like,
he's great. And I was so, and when I told him, that his words really meant something to me and that I think about them a lot, and he was very gracious and he took it in, and it was sweet. I loved it. Anyway. Yeah. And he's so busy. He's doing so many things, but he makes it happen. How does he do it? How does he juggle?
I think is one of like the most like savvy people I know when it comes to navigating the industry. He's very good at getting his things made while also like being in the morning show. Cashing that big Apple check, getting that Apple check. Yep. He's very good at making his own work and then being a part of other people's work. Like I feel like he is very cool in the way that he has a balance between, just like he plays all sides kind of like, I think it's a very cool way to be in this industry.
Absolutely.
It really speaks to like just a love of film.
Right. And he's always putting out passion stuff along with the other stuff that's more mainstream and bigger collaborations. Have you always loved movies? Have you always wanted to make them?
Yeah.
What are your earliest memories of them?
I mean, I think when I was like 10, I started like a little movie review website, but like I know my dad bought me like a little flip camera to make movie reviews. Like I've just been for the longest time that I've been obsessed. And I'm trying to think of my. Probably I was 11 and Joe Wright's film Hannah had just come out. And
Right on.
I watched it and became so enamored with it and would watch the trailer every day. And it's just always been there though. Like I was talking to someone about this recently and I was like, the second that I sit down and press play on a movie, this might make me sound like a bad cinephile, but I have to pause it like 5 times, like in the first 20 minutes or something, just because as soon as I press play on a movie, like I don't want it to end. Like I like relax into it kind of so immediately that I need to like find ways to prolong it. And so, it's just, I mean, like I love cinema. Like it's my favorite thing.
I love the image of you posting reviews. Was there anyone that was really controversial that a lot of your visitors to your site would be like,
well, I had no visitors to my site. I don't even know if I
please, I know that feeling.
I don't even know if I published it.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
I was updating it every day, but I don't know if I ever even knew to hit publish on the website. Like, but
right.
I do have a log of like every review that I wrote on a Google Drive, and that's amazing. Like maybe like once a year or something, I'll be like, I'll foray back into, I'll peek into what 11-year-old Elliot was writing about the Battleship movie and see why
with Rihanna
and see why he gave it a D+. And
exactly,
they're usually pretty good.
I remember writing jokes about that Battleship movie for Fashion Police, which is neither here nor there. But yeah, it was a movie. There was a movie called Battleship. I just have a few more questions. The aesthetics in the movie are cool. The way it looks, I love the way you did your credits with that sort of grainy kind of VHS-y thing. I also thought that the photography was amazing. Was that something that you felt like you've always had a knack for, or it feels like you just have a really good voice as a filmmaker?
I'll credit a lot of I gave our DP, Ryan Jackson Healy, so many references. And I will credit him a lot with helping me kind of crystallize the vision of the film, or at least help me learn a language to describe what I'm wanting. But we reference so much like Aki Kaurismäki, who I think is brilliant with color, Bergman, I really like, it's one of my big pet peeves, I think, when I watch like a very, true indie and I feel like I see a film that's unafraid or that's afraid of color. And so whatever I wanted to do, I just didn't want it to be, I didn't want the film to be afraid of color. I wanted it to feel rich, and I wanted it to feel, it needed to tell a story. And like, that's a film is such a visual medium that sometimes I get frustrated when I see a film that is simply like a flatly lit camera image that is just meant to accompany the words. Like in the film itself to feel motivated. The visual language needs to be motivated by what's happening. It was also really important to me that I wanted the aesthetics of the film and the visual language to kind of match the taboo nature of what's happening on screen. Like I loved that camcorder footage. To me, that straddled the line between snuff film and home video, family home video. Like it was all about finding ways, especially with working on such a tight timeline and a tight budget, to get the coverage that we need and find different ways of like, I'm trying to find the right word, not motivating, but different ways of like energizing the frame.
Yeah.
Even if you only have enough time to get.
Yeah. If you have one location and you don't have a lot of time.
You don't have unlimited time and you can't get all the special shots in the world.
Yeah.
Which probably wouldn't be good for the film anyway. Like a film often doesn't require that. And so, it was figuring that out. And our DP Ryan, who is very smart and a really great cinematographer, was really, really helpful.
Awesome. I have one more question, but I want you to tell people when they can see the movie. I know it's hitting digital soon. I think it's currently in San Francisco at the Roxy, which is super cool.
It's playing in a bunch of cities right now. We're still playing in New York and San Francisco, and we're playing again in Toronto this week. And it's so if you go to obscuredreleasing.com, they have a full list of showtimes. And then we're going to be available to watch digitally on June 12th.
Cool. Final question. I mentioned earlier that I wrote this play. It's very personal. It's for me, very bold. It's different than yours, but different. But I feel a little liberated for like doing this, saying something so personal. And like, do you feel sort of like, does it give you a little like, I don't know, like a confidence or something to say like, I put this really bold thing out and now I can move forward from that. How does it feel now that it's out? People are reacting to it. How does it make you feel about yourself?
Yeah. I mean, I think the film, it didn't necessarily feel like purging anything. And so I don't really have this kind of like resolute kind of like satisfaction that I've gone through something and I can push it away. But I'm so proud of our entire crew. I'm so proud of Reed and Kieran that people get to see their work. Like I feel so proud to have, facilitated this experience for Reed and Kieran and for our crew and my producers and I am proud of the film, and so I'm proud whenever I see it connect with an audience or an audience member talks to me about it. That's like why you make a film is to engage with an audience member.
Yeah.
So
what have those reactions been like?
They've been positive, and I mean, really like run a gamut from what someone is talking to me about, but it's always, that's so the most rewarding part of it. It's to like hear how it at least changed this person's day or that they felt seen by it or that they felt moved by it. That makes it, the kind of making a film is so hard.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like any good film is a miracle. And so when I see it have its impact, it makes me one, very excited to get on a set again. And two, it makes me very proud of kind of everyone who worked so hard on this film to have their work resonate with somebody.
I love that. It's beautiful. I'm going to let you go. Congratulations on the movie.
Thanks so much for your time.
I think you're super cool. I wish you still lived here. We could hang at Vidiot's because you're just cool. And I think you're going to be an Indie Spirit Award darling next year. That's my hope for you. And I look forward to whatever you do next. I really enjoyed this conversation. Thanks you
so much. Thank you.
All right. Thanks again to Elliot Tuttle. Check out his film, Blue Film. You will find it really well made, really interesting, really provocative, really bold, and I'm really glad I saw it and talked to Elliot. I wish he lived here because I want to hang out with Elliot. He seems really cool. Anyway, so this happened. I've got some big stuff that happened. We did our first show at the Fringe Festival yesterday. I'm underslept because I just couldn't sleep after the reading day, and the same happened before. I guess I got all this stuff going in my head, but it's cool. It's a cool thing to be a part of. We ran way long in our time, and we almost got kicked out of the theater, but they let us finish our show. We got too ambitious with the set changes and the props and stuff. Nobody cares, so we're scaling way back and not doing any scene changes, really. More of a traditional reading with music stands and no props. And I've got some stuff to cut out of the play, but we're going to figure it out. We're going to make it work. I love my cast, and I love the whole experience. I've had some really moving conversations with people afterwards, and I'm having a whole thing with it. But the other thing I want to talk about, and now I can talk about it, is I am in a new commercial for Kalshi with that basketball player called Giannis from Greece with the long last name. It played during the NBA Finals, and it's a takeoff of the movie Grease. And because Giannis is from Greece, but then he ends up, there's a passport, and he goes to Greece, but it's more like a movie Grease, and he's in it. there's a Grease Lightning moment. There's like a carnival moment and, cars and, like the Pink Ladies and all that stuff. So anyway, a few weeks ago, probably a month ago, my dance agent texted me on a Thursday afternoon at 6:00 and he said, I just pitched you to a commercial with Mandy Moore and she wants to book you. And Mandy Moore is probably the most popular, successful choreographer right now in the world. Like, she did the Taylor Swift Eras Tour. She does Dancing with the Stars a lot. She did La La Land. There's all kinds of stuff that she's done. And I've been a fan of hers since So You Think You Can Dance, early days of that. And so when he said that, I was like, oh my God, Mandy Moore is going to book me for a commercial. And so I had to get permission from work to do it. It was like a 2-day, 1 day camera blocking, 1 day shoot, and 1 day rehearsal. And so I was like, all right, it worked out. They let me have the time off. And the Saturday was the rehearsal. And so I go in there and I think, if she booked me without an audition, I must just be like Step Touch Grandpa in the background. Like, I must just be like the old guy, just doing something, whatever. But I get to the rehearsal and everybody is like, if anyone is in their 30s, I'd be surprised. They're all like young. And I'm being taught the same choreography they are. And it's to Born to Hand Jive. And it's, like really fast paced. Like, I can do it. The moves are in my wheelhouse and I could sell it and I can do it. But we were doing it over and over and over and over. And, stamina is an issue for me. I don't know if having COVID twice took it out of me, but sometimes in dance class when it's really, fast paced and it's long, I really have trouble breathing and I'm heaving and I was like, I'm going to get fired from this commercial, with Mandy Moore. But she was super nice, super cool. And the rehearsal was just to give us a sort of menu of steps that she could plug in here and there. Cause the way it is with commercials, like there's a 2-second moment of this and a 3-second moment of that. And then you're gone and whatever. So I after the rehearsal, like I almost was like, I'm just going to drive myself to the hospital. Like, I was a mess for like a few days, like just trying to breathe. And it was a whole thing. And I was like, I need to talk to a doctor. Do I need an inhaler? What is this going to be? But, it was a dream come true. And when I first moved to LA, my dance teacher that I first went to here was part of a bigger workshop, was named Annette Cardona. And she played Cha-Cha di Gregorio in Greece. And she taught these regular dance classes. And I would go to them with my friends and like twice a week. And she was very like, they were physical. They were hard, hard workouts and stamina and stretching and all that stuff. And I think about 8 months later, I auditioned for Princess Cruises and I got it. And I think it was because I had been going to Annette's classes. I think that gave me enough ability to book this job. And that job changed my life. So I always think of like Annette Cardona as like somebody that changed my life, and put me on a course that led to other things. And, she was Cha-Cha di Gregorio in Greece. And of course, she's the star of the hand jive number. I mean, she is a bad girl and she takes Danny Zuko away from Sandy, but she kills it. And so doing the hand jive and all these years later after, I would have started taking her class in 1986, 1987. And 40 years later to be on a set with Mandy Moore, like that isn't like, it's the kind of gig that in my 20s, I would have been like, I can't believe it. And yet it came back around and I'm not the old guy in the corner. I mean, there are a few scenes that I'm featured in terms of the way they shot it. But in the final commercial, you see me once and I'll take it. As long as you can see my face, I think it means more money. I don't know how it works. But anyway, it's Giannis is in Greece land and there's all the Greece things. And at the very end, he dunks a basketball and then he flies up in the car in the sky and everyone's waving to him. And I'm one of the people down below doing the hand jive. I'm kind of in the left-hand or the right-hand corner with a hat on and like a suit. A lot of the other people were in like T-Bird stuff and like jumpsuits from the garage, but I'm like an older businessman. And this was a cool kind of fun thing. So there's a big group of us and we're all sort of dancing and moving forward and they need people to pretend to wave to Giannis in the sky in the car. And Mandy did this thing where she's like, okay, because it's a big group, and it was the end of the day, and we're all like, kind of tired and whatever. And she's like, all right, if your birthday's from January to March, I want you to wave after the first count of 8. If you're March to July, I want you to wave 4 seconds later or 4 beats later. Like, she divided people up by birthdays, and then that's how you would wave. And she never picked my birthday, so I just kept hand jiving with a kind of strange look on my face that's made it hard to grab a screen grab where I'm adorable, but I'm still in it. This because I'm in it. I'm in it so much. Into it. So I never waved because I didn't have the birthday, but then she would adjust it. And she's like, all right, also, December, in October to December, you guys need to wave too. But that's how she sort of gauged the amount of waves and stuff like that. It was really amazing to see her work. She was very kind. She had a good sense of humor. She had a lot of joy in dance. Like, you could tell she still loves what dance is and the joy that it can bring. And she ran a very kind operation. And I got to sit with her at lunch, and we talked about La La Land, and she had just done the ABC upfronts, and I worked for Disney, so she had literally choreographed Dancing with the Stars people for this big thing in New York, and then got on a plane on Wednesday and was on this set, in Santa Clarita, teaching, Grease Lightning. There's Grease Lightning boys. I was not one of them, but they were all very nice. And the other thing I remember about the day, because we spent a whole day like camera blocking, and then we spent a day shooting, and the other dancers were all quite young, but they were all really nice. And in between, they would sort of talk about what's your dream, or what other things have you done, or I don't know. They were just very thoughtful. It wasn't like, I don't know. I think some younger people today are a little more, I don't know. They've been exposed to some tough things in the world, or they've got challenges, and the world has really screwed them over again and again and again. And they were sort of thoughtful and kind, and I was like, oh, the young people are okay. I'm impressed with these people. And and the food was great on it, and I got to dance in another commercial, and I got to work with Mandy Moore. And what else about the Grease experience was cool? All of it. Anyway, yeah, it was a long day though. And then a couple days later, I had a long day for my Disney job outside, and so by that weekend, I was I was an old, worn out puppy. But anyway, that's, I think, the thing that happened. And I'm going to try to post it on my Instagram, but I haven't been able to yet because, I don't know, I can't figure out how to rip a movie off of YouTube. But I'm working on it. Other people in the group figured it out. But it is on YouTube. I think it's called Hometown. Giannis, Kalshi, Hometown. And Kalshi is one of those sites where you can bet on all kinds of random stuff, predictive markets. I don't know. I kind of think they're shady and weird, but I'll take their money and to dance. And yeah, so I think that's enough for this week. I want to give a shout out to Oscar Rosario for mixing my episodes. My theme music is by Mark Daniels for Placement Music. We'll catch you next time on Dennis Anyone. Bye.
U.S. traders who wanted to go long or short with leverage using their own crypto as collateral had two choices: go offshore or don't. That just changed. CFTC-regulated spot margin trading is now live on Kraken Pro. Up to 10 times leverage, long or short, your crypto as collateral. Unleash your trading potential. Download Kraken Pro on the App Store or Google Play. Spot margin trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for everyone. Leverage magnifies gains and losses. View NinjaTrader disclosures for more information on brokerage services. Geographic restrictions apply. Terms apply.